I'm going to open the commission meeting for the evening. We'll start with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor Tom Wareham will give the invocation this evening.
Thank you. You're welcome to join in prayer. Living God, our Creator, you are above all and through all and in all. We give you thanks for the blessings of this day and for the ways that you have blessed our community with its beauty and its resources. And we thank you too for the blessing of each other. As we gather, we ask that you would grant us eyes that see and ears that hear that which is truly the best in each other. We pray too for your blessing upon this meeting. Grace our civic leaders with your spirit of wisdom, humility, courage, and peace, that they may promote the common welfare and hear the voices of all who reside in our community. Guide them in all of their decisions, that they may be faithful models of leadership for all of us. For to you belongs glory and dominion, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll call for public input. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Do you have anything you want to pull?
Item C for me, I won't be voting on that due to conflict.
Okay. You guys have anything? Okay. All right, we'll need a,
Move to approve A and B.
Second?
been moved and seconded to approve A and B. All in favor, do so by saying aye, and we'll have a roll call vote.
Brooks?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
McNay?
Yes.
Munsell?
Yes.
Sigley?
Yes? Okay. Consider the following.
We gotta go back.
We need to do,
Oh, we got to go back to that
I-
one, yeah, see.
Can I just move to approve that?
yes,
Since you-
and I'll second.
Okay, I'll move to approve, item C.
Okay.
Second?
Been moved and seconded to approve item C. All in favor, a roll call vote?
Height?
Yes.
McNay?
Yes.
Munsell?
Yes.
Sigley?
Yes. Okay. All right. Consider the following. Enterprise Fleet Management Agreement. Consider staff recommendation to enter into a lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management for the purpose of providing fleet vehicles to the city.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. So tonight is just, we're asking you to approve or disapprove the recommendation of the contract with Enterprise. That Henry has reviewed it with their legal team. There is an amendment to the back that is, we've cleaned up the document so it's ready to be authorized and signed. And I'll be happy to answer any other questions you might have tonight.
I move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the Enterprise Fleet Management Agreement. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Earl's Engineering and Inspection, Engineering Services Agreement. Consider staff recommendation to enter into an engineering services agreement with Earl's Engineering and Inspection, Inc. of Pittsburgh, Kansas, to provide professional design services in relation to the extension of the water main and construction of the sewer lift station and force main to serve the Southwest Industrial Park.
Again, on this item for the Southwest Industrial Park, whenever the casino was installed, the force main that comes down, the lift station that provides on that force main from the casino down to our wastewater treatment plant, the Southwest Industrial Park, it was preliminary talked about then to put another lift station at this location. At that time, we didn't have any interest and it wasn't financially feasible. Now we have interest and so we need to design a lift station to tie into that force main and take that sewer. And while we're at it, we would like to design to take the water loop and tie it back to Country Club Road from the front and make a water loop around that area as well. And so that's tonight is for Earls to design that needed infrastructure for that industrial park.
We'll we'll get to see the design and
Yes.
we'll see the costs and
Yep.
all of that,
Yep.
okay. Okay.
Move to approve.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the engineering services agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. Change order number 1, water treatment plant well number 3, repairs. Consider staff recommendation to approve change order number 1 to the contract with Mr. Pump LLC for the repairs to well number 8 at the water treatment plant, reflecting an increase in the amount of $156,875 to include a new pump bowl assembly, new 316 stainless steel, or 316 stainless steel shafts, and spider bearings.
Again, for this item, previously you approved Mr. Pump to pull out the well. Obviously, until we get the well pulled out, we don't know what we're dealing with. So upon pulling the well, we discovered that the column pipe was in good shape, but the shafts itself that runs the pump, they're very pitted and rusted. They've been in there for, I wanna say 13 years, I believe, is the age on those. I mean, we have a highly corrosive environment, but we're gonna have to replace those, move those into a 316 stainless, see if we get some more life onto that. And then the related spider bearings that hold the shaft in place inside the column pipe, and then the bowl assembly needed to be replaced as well. So it was 40+ years old. So it's all related work to put back into place.
Any questions?
Move to approve.
I'd second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the change order number 1. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. Item D, purchase of buses. Consider staff recommendation to purchase 2 34-passenger buses from Pittsburgh State University in the amount of $18,000.
Mayor, Commissioners, Toby wrote the memo, but he couldn't be here today. Basically, we've been approached by PSU. They're surplusing 2 34-passenger buses, both 2007 models. We negotiated a price down to $18,000 for the pair. We've had Lanny look them over. They're obviously old. They each have 181,000 miles. But we ran it by staff. They said, there would be some interest to it, depending on what the commission says. There's parks and rec programs for kids. There's some senior programs. There's times where we would be able to benefit from this. There's not a lot. I mean, they wouldn't be used daily. There's definitely not a tremendous need for buses this big, but I think with the age of them, one of the buses, Lanny said, could actually be used maybe to parts to keep the other buses going. But we would remove the decals. There'd be some other work to do on it. So it would probably in the end be more than $18,000, which is why we brought it to you for your consideration. But anyway, happy to answer any questions. And
Yeah, I have one, Darren. If we do purchase them, I was asked to ask this question that depending on how many people ride with us, that including the driver, if it's over 14 passengers is the maximum without a CDL. So I don't know who's driving them. You have to have a CDL with a passenger endorsement if you're hauling 41
Yeah.
or more. You know that, so.
oh yeah, we've got a
Okay.
complete fleet of all kinds of vehicles, and there's only a few of them I can drive. But we've got chauffeur licenses and CDL requirements across, and this would be a special deal, for sure.
So, obviously, we would want to take the PSU decals off, and, we know that that leaves a shadow. So, at one point, we talked about rewrapping, but have we costed that out to see what that would be?
Yeah, we actually talked to the chamber and the CVB about partnering on it. The wrapping is going to be expensive, so I think they kind of, both organizations balked at the idea of spending maybe up to $15,000 per bus to wrap it when the bus only costs $9,000. And then we've got a lot of work to do just on the body. I think the mayor crawled under both buses at one point and called me and said, these things are kind of rusted. They're definitely not in good shape, but I don't think we would wrap them. I think we would probably need to have some kind of just basic paint job, because I think it would look weird with the decals pulled off, because you would be able to still see them, but that's definitely an issue. There would be some more cost. And they're old buses, so there's obviously gonna be ongoing costs. The more we use them, the more we're gonna be putting money into them, but it's something we don't have in the fleet, but it may not be something we need in the fleet. It's just something we thought we'd have, bring to you. We don't have an opportunity to buy 34 passenger buses for $9,000 very often. Maybe for a reason, but
Depending on the length,
problem.
depending on the use, have we explored Purple Wave to see what's out there for the price? Because I'm like Doc, I looked at it too, and it is pretty rough. But with the mileage, and I just, I think I'd like to make a motion to hold right at the moment instead of approve based on how they, they look.
well, I think I would encourage you to either, PSU has them and would probably like to get rid of them if we don't want them. So I think today, and the staff's okay either way. I know a lot of times we bring things to you and we're like, hey, we really need this and, and holding it. But I think today, if you guys aren't comfortable with it, I think PSU will understand. They're obviously very old. They're not something we have in our fleet, so we don't have a lot of experience maintaining them. But I think holding it would probably be,
Or just explore other options if
Sure,
it's,
I mean,
if
that's
it
fine
was
too.
needed.
Well, and I guess the question is, did we identify this as a need before they came forward
Yeah.
with the, and I'm thinking that, no, that wasn't.
I have
Yeah.
not heard anybody shopping.
I'm with
It
Don.
was an opportunity that came up and we talked about
Yeah.
it as a staff and said, hey, let's
Well,
consider it.
I mean, I
I'd
think
like-
we appreciate that they chose, asked us. but
Yes.
I'm not sure that
We don't need
the
this.
cost is worth the,
I'd like to recuse myself either way, so.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
If that's all right.
I haven't
You don't
looked
wanna
at
drive the bus?
them. I haven't looked at them, but just listening to Doc and Cheryl and we talked about maintenance, what would the maintenance be on something with that many miles, I would agree that I think we might
Just
maybe pass on
Want
it.
to withdraw
So-
your motion then?
Yes, I'll withdraw it then.
Or you want to
Or-
make it,
Or redo it?
Well, I don't want to vote to approve,
right.
I'll
so
just say I vote to disapprove.
I vote to disapprove. I make a motion to disapprove.
I'll second it.
All in favor, do so by saying aye.
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 Thanks for the opportunity, but
Yeah,
I'm with,
Okay, we'll move on to non-agenda reports and requests.
We have two. Kim will go first. I'll follow up with that.
Good evening. This is just an update to let you guys know. You had approved resolutions in January and February to apply for moderate income housing grant and the Kansas Housing Investor Tax Credits. We have the opportunity we were not awarded in round one, so we have an opportunity to apply in round two. Those are due June 2nd, and we can reuse the same resolutions. So I'm just letting you know, we're reusing those resolutions to apply, and we'll know if we're awarded in August. So that's it.
Thank you.
You bet.
Good luck round two.
yeah.
It's almost June 1st. We are working on the roads. It's been somewhat dry compared to what we usually experience, but I know a lot of people are coming out of winter. The roads are pretty bumpy. We've done some pothole patching. There are a few roads that have been working on, but there's some big ones next to Walmart, things like that. Just please be patient if you're listening. I took a couple of calls today. Matt's got a plan. If you really want to know if your road's on the plan or how we're going to do. The difficulty of that is we really don't know how much. It's a pay-as-you-go program. We have about $2.5 million a year, so we'll spend all of it, but we can't be too specific on exactly which road is going to be done. But we know for sure some of the big ones, and just please be patient as we get the crews. We've got a great crew. They do a great job, but there's a lot of work out there, and it's hopefully going to be not a long, hot summer in that aspect, but we get a lot more done when it's
It'll be
dry.
street friendlier,
and warm.
street repair
So,
friendly.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. The mayor's moment, I guess. Number one is we're moving ahead with the cleaning up of the city. I see people taking a lead on this, which is really great. I'm seeing people clean up things. There are still some folks out there that could spend an hour and make their place look a lot better. And for those who have been doing it, we really appreciate it. Second item is this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, so we want to watch out for the safety of kids and people running around at the park and other things. So, and I would say that bring out your patriotic clothes, put them on, wave the flag, and remember those who gave their lives and gave all for that flag. That's it. Anyone else with anything?
Do you have a report on bulky pickup, or is it too soon?
Yeah, Matt's, I think the last one was just the other day, so test the map memory banks and see if you
Yeah.
can some numbers.
So, yeah, we've completed all 4 quadrants. We did about 161 total pickups over the whole deal. I don't have the final tonnages, but, we did quite a few. Yesterday, we did about 90 just in the southeast quadrant, so southeast, southwest were both our biggest quadrants, but, yeah, so we made a big dent in it, so.
Well, thank you to you and your crew.
Yep.
A couple of my things disappeared in the night, so.
Yeah, I know. I won't tell anyone you didn't sign up.
I did sign up.
Oh, well, I've had some problems with registering, I don't know, but yeah.
My neighborhood
As he
now,
leans into the microphone.
No, it's good. We have a couple that are hanging out there that, typically, you should get a response if you did sign up, and we've had a couple of, I don't know if they didn't finally hit the submit button or what. I mean, we have had some issue, I don't know what happened, but I think we've got all those taken care of as well. We did a couple others this morning, so we've tried to hit everybody, but for the most part, other than the southeast quadrant from this one, we haven't had a whole lot of extra follow-up of misses, so.
Matt, do you think it's better to do it in one day, like we've done the last 2 years, or is it better to split it up and just try to hit 4 Mondays?
You know, it's worked out better than, I was afraid it would get drug out. So far, I haven't really had a chance to really drive the rest of the city, but for the most part, it looked like everyone lived within their boundary. I didn't have stuff showing up in the southwest district on the southeast. I mean, it looks like everyone, that worked out better than what I thought it would. I was afraid that we just kept posting and we'd start getting calls from different quadrants for whatever, but for the most part, it appears to have worked out all right. That is, you know, I think moving forward, I think we'd be okay if we did 4 different days. We were able to, you know, we staffed up with, we put 2 1-tons in a loader, or I had 2 sets of those. Parks Department brought two dump trucks and a loader, and then we set one from stormwater, and then someone setting up at the dump site, crushing them back into the dumpsters, and you know, we moved pretty good. Most all of them we were able to complete right around noon. We moved pretty good. It wasn't as much. A few of them, it's kind of like anything. There was a few that had, I don't know, there was more stuff set out than I thought would have fit in the house. A couple of them, but you know, it was probably less than the first wave. That's probably made a difference that this is the 3rd year we've done that now. But it went all right. It was, I mean, like I said, for the most part yesterday, we got everything on 90 some plus. We were able to get in the same day, so I think that works okay.
Let me phrase it differently. Would you rather do it on one day, or are we gonna start doing it on 4 days?
Depends on the year. I'd say 4 days.
I mean, it sounds like it was pretty well organized, and one day you're at the mercy of the weather completely. If it rains like it did the first year, it was just a nightmare. So I think breaking it up, it gives us the option to maybe move something another day. So we'll probably stick with
Whether it's 1 day or 4 days, we're gonna take however long it takes in each quadrant to get all of it, so, but the 4 days is okay.
Well, thank you.
Thanks. Just a reminder of C-Click Fix. C-Click Fix, you can go on there and make a request or make a comment about something, you know, that you're not happy with or you're happy with.
And apparently you need to push submit.
You need to what?
Push submit.
Yeah, you gotta,
Multiple
at
times.
the bottom it says submit, and it doesn't telepathize. Okay, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.